Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to round number 4 of Season 1 of the Cooleddown iRacing Dirt Series. Thanks so much for joining us, and we have an amazing field of entries tonight. We got 20 last time I checked. We've had some really full fields for this 4 race season. Week number 1, we had Tyler Dell beating Bailey Cousins. In the second week, we had Jeff Rempel taking advantage of a situation between the number, it was the 8 and 7, Tyler Dell, and of Bailey Cousins again. And Tyler Dell was your winner last week, dominated the majority of the second half of that race. Another feature when he's 2-4-3 in this season of the Cooleddown iRacing Dirt Series. In the points, Tyler Dell. Not a surprise to see him with 295 points, the points leader right now. Jeff Rempel, who's got the other win, has 250 points. Cameron Brown, who is not able to make it tonight, was in third place going into tonight's race, tied with David Gerling, who won one B-Main just a few weeks ago. So there's a good chance he'll be moving up one position at the very least, or if SHAWN KLASSEN, who's only 1 point behind him, could swap that position and David could stay in the same spot. But right now, Cameron Brown will not be in tonight's race and will fall off this standings. SHAWN KLASSEN, who was a winner in the practice races earlier this week, so watch out for him in the number 33. Alexander Farr, who ran at second last week to Tyler Dell, who had the pass of the race, is in with 229 points. He is in the 6th position. May have a shot if he does really well, and there's an issue with both Gerling and KLASSEN. Steve Bowman with 222. Gareth Senkow, who looked really good last week. Fred Fraser with 214 points. And at the bottom of the top 10, we have the number 212 of Derek Robinson, who's been caught up in a wide variety of wrecks throughout the season, but finds himself in the top 10. So we've had quite a few drivers. We have a new driver tonight, who is Brendan Lashinsky. Brendan Lashinsky, you might know, is the Wissota Midwest Modified driver based out of Winnipeg. Brendan Lashinsky won the modified special in the Midwest Mod class at Lake of the Woods Speedway. And we're just actually a couple minutes from starting our first heats. So we want to welcome Brendan Lashinsky for coming on board. Also McClellan, who had a good run last week, is back again. Rick Lowy, who I don't believe we've seen for the last couple races, is back again with us tonight. Bailey Cousins is back with us again. So a full field once again, with everybody ready to go for round number 4, the final round, Season 1 Points Championship tonight on the Cooleddown iRacing Dirt Series. Thanks again so much for being a part of our program. We love to have you. Make sure to make a comment on Facebook. We are on YouTube as well, youtube.com/Cooleddown12, or search Cooleddown Racing Video Productions. Become a subscriber to our channel. We're actually only 85 getting our 1,000th subscribers. So help us build the community and click that bell so that you can get all our latest notifications. We got a couple minutes left here of practice, and then we are going to get underway. We're going to have 3 heat races for our evening tonight. I've had promises tonight's going to be a great race based on how the first couple nights went at this track for practice. And I'm just going to look up the standings here that we have for total amount of drivers that we've had for this season. And we do have some sponsors that we want to cover who have donated some iRacing credits. including Prairie Performance and Detail, Carmen Concrete Limited, No Fear Graphics by Alexander Farr, and the Airport Motor Inn. Thank you so much for your generous sponsorship of tonight's Cooleddown iRacing Dirt Series. Okay, just less than a minute now for practice. So we've had a total of 26 different drivers in our iRacing series with Cooleddown. So I want to thank all those drivers who participated throughout this season. So for our heats, if you're found at fault for causing a caution, you'll receive an end of the longest line penalty. A second penalty will result in being disqualified from the heat races. For the B main and the feature, the similar rules will apply, except that a third end of longest line penalty will result in a DQ for the feature race. Now we're at the USA International Speedway. It is a 3/4 mile high banked oval located in Lakeland, Florida. We're just resetting the track here. We're going to get into heat number 1. iRacing will randomly line up our cars. And let's take a look at the grid for heat number 1. Heat number 1, we have the number 48 of Jerome Guillot on the inside. On the outside of him will be the number 16 of BRYAN DORGE. Barr in the number 25 will be second row inside. And Austin McClellan on the outside in the number 41. Rick Lowy in the number 15 will be in the 5th position, and 14 car of Stephen Bowman will be on the back row, and SHAWN, or second last, and then in the number 33, SHAWN KLASSEN, who's been really good at this racetrack, starting at the back of heat number 1. We'll go through the lineup once again once we see the cars out there. There. Sorry, I had to switch my thing. So we have 7 cars in heat number 1. SHAWN KLASSEN, who's dominant in the practice races over the last few days, starting at the back of this one. He's going to have to move his way up the front real quick to have a shot at this direct transfer to the A main. We've mentioned it last week that if you do finish in the top 3, you get to go to the feature right away. Otherwise, we have to go to a B main. In the B main, the car that's wins the B main will start in the 10th position. So really important for these drivers to be able to get up in that top 3 and transfer to the feature. Actually, it looks top 4 for feature. So top 4 for the feature. And inverting the top 3 from each. Here we go, green flag. USA International Speedway, Jerome Guillot. Getting a good run into turn number 1. Up the racetrack just a little bit. 3 wide coming out of turn 2. The 16 staves off. Cuts a little bit in front of Farr. But it's Guillot on the backstretch heading into turn number 3. Side by side for second. Farr staying off the number 16 of DORGE. Slides up, trying to cut underneath, side by side, with the 16 and 48 on the back stretch. Ooh, little bit of a tag on the left rear of the 16, but the 16's got the lead. Is he going to be able to hold it crossing this line? Yes, by a nose. A little bit of a bump coming into 1. But it's the 16 with holding the lead now. He's going to slide up a bit in front of Guillaume. And all the top three get into line. Guillaume's going to go a little bit lower here. Try to make the same move on the 16. 3 wide. Oh, 25 gets up. 16 involved. 48. 48 keeps going. We got a caution on the front straightaway. That was looking like a mess coming through that corner. Looks like Guillaume's going to be the most unscathed in this. Caution out. We're going to restart him. We're going to find out who exactly caused this one. Who is it going to be this time? So far, got to the inside, might have slipped up just a little bit. Guillaume was right there, but tagged him enough that forced into the 16 of Brian DORGE and caused a whole pile of a mess. And Guillaume stuck in the middle of that. The 16 over top of the hood of Guillaume. I can only imagine what that looked like from inside the car. Guillaume's going to start this off. 41 of McClellan went for a ride. Nose diving right on the front stretch. Flagman able to get that yellow out. And Guillaume's got enough health in that car to be able to keep going. Bowman, Steve Bowman in second spot. Probably didn't think of himself to be there very quickly, but sure is. Too much damage, it looks like, for the other two cars. Far is followed up at the back. And you could really see it on the three of them that it was going to be tight. Far really wanted to make that move and just could not hold the bottom of the racetrack to make it happen. Number 15 of Rick Lowy restarting in 4th position, and Sean KLASSEN is hitting 3rd. Pace truck's pulled off. Green flag for the number 48 of Jerome Guillaume. KLASSEN on the very inside with that right front damage. Guillaume's got the lead though. Here comes Bowman. Bowman going, oh, hits the wall coming into the corner. KLASSEN's going to take advantage of that. And the number 41, Austin McClellan, trying to get into the 2nd position. 33 of KLASSEN. Right up onto the rear bumper of the number 48 of Jerome Guillaume. Takes a run right underneath. KLASSEN doing a great job holding that inside. McClellan's to the inside wall. And we got another caution in heat number 1. Jerome Guillaume still your leader. Glad this one didn't have anything to do with him. Doesn't look like there's enough damage on that to have caused any steering issues. The 16 drove up into the 41. In the original shot, it looked like the 41 might have got a little bit low and hit the inside wall. But it looks like the 16 of Brian DORGE is going to the back of this one. And that front right fender that's missing from Sean KLASSEN is most certainly not slowing him down. He had a really good line on the bottom. And with just 3 laps to go, it looks like, Sean KLASSEN still has a shot at winning this. He was quite dominant over the last couple days during their practice sessions. And we've seen that already in this heat race. that this seems to be a track that Shawn KLASSEN really likes, and it seems to, his driving style seems to really match how this track operates for him. Interesting story with Jerome Guillot, driver that we see very early on in most of our races, but tends to fade towards the end, middle to the end of a race. Right now is holding that front row position. This is not a position Guillot's used to throughout this season, and I'm sure he does not want to lose that opportunity to really get a nice finish to start tonight's events. 2 cautions have occurred in this one. Alexander Farr in the first one, causing it when it went 3 wide, and Brian Dorge getting into the number 41 of Austin McClellan, the second caution. Thanks again to our sponsors, Prairie Performance and Detail, Carmen Concrete Limited, No Fear Graphics by Alexander Farr, and the Airport Motor Inn for their generous sponsorship of tonight's races. All right, here we go. Green flag, single file restart. Let's see if the number 33 of Shawn KLASSEN does anything for that number 48. Well, the 48 got really tight there. KLASSEN side by side for second and third, or for third and fourth. Oh, Guillot's got, looks like a bit of a steering problem, maybe through the corner. Is he going to be able to hold off? 2 to go. KLASSEN is looking to make a move to the inside. To the inside is KLASSEN. Side by side again. Oh, he just stay off of each other. Bowman's fending off Alexander Farr, who's made himself as part of the deal. And here we go. Your winner. Is going to be the number 48 of Jerome Guillot. Jerome Guillot, your winner, holding off Shawn KLASSEN and Stephen Bowman. And Bowman almost had a shot second there. Alexander Farr finishing in 4th, and Austin McClellan in 5th, Rick Lowy in 6th, and Brian Dorge in 7th. All right, heat number 2. Starting on the pole, we have the number 19 of Max Wozni. On the second position, outside front row, we have the number 20 of Brennan Lashinsky. Second row inside, we have the number 12 of Jeff Rempel, who seemed to not get out of his own way last week. In the 4th position, we have the number 52 of Don Ashton, the number 18 of Fred Fraser in the 5th position. Last week's feature winner of Tyler Dell, the number 8, will be in the 6th position. And the number 1 of Pat Davis starting at the back of the field. 19 and 20 are on the front row. We're going to see what this one looks like compared to the previous race. Max Wozni in the Mountain Dew sponsored car. One more time around. And look at the, I really love the color scheme in that number 52 in the second row outside of Don Ashton. Some of you might recognize that paint scheme from the NASCAR upper tiers years ago. And Max Wozni, who has been part of this program pretty much every week since we started, has not really got the results he's looking for, but has an opportunity to win this heat race Really liking the number 8, who's got the Days of Thunder paint scheme. That pace truck's going to pull off. The number 19 is going to take us to the green flag. Rempel to the inside coming into turn number 1. Looks like the 52 and the 20 involved. And here comes the number 8 in third already. The 20 gets into the wall. Rempel is gone sideways and did not see if he was clipped by the 19. The 52 slides up into the 8. 19's going to have to try to recover. Does in the second position. The 52 into third. 8 falling back into fourth place. Battle for the 52 and the 8. For third. 52 is really just pushing coming out of that corner and then whipping it sideways, losing a little bit of forward bite. Tyler Liddell's going to challenge for second on the inside. Not quite there yet. Jeff Rempel doing a great job, even though he did get sideways. I could not see if the 19 got into the side of him or not. The 19 is all over the racetrack. And the number 8 is going to cut underneath. Let's see if he can hold it. He does. He's going to stay down there. 19 slid up towards the wall. Oh. Dell stays off. Meanwhile, Rempel way out in front halfway through this race. $20 back into this wall, coming out of turn number 4, keeps it going. What a battle for second with the 8 of Tyler Dell and the 19 of Rick Wozni. The advantage seems to go to Dell on the inside, side by side for second place. Slick off in the middle of the corner, but Dell still has a really good run on the straightaway here. Still the number 19 in the lead of the number 8 of Dell, but he slides up too much again. He's going to have enough room. He's going to keep it side by side. 19 just has such a good run coming out of the corner. Oh, 19 pushed a little bit more up the track, and now he's behind Dell. Dell moves into second place. Can Wozni get it back? They've swapped positions now. Yellow is out. Did not see what happened there. We got a spinner, number 52. So we're going to go a quick restart. And we will have about a green-white checkered finish here. What does this mean? Tyler Dell in second place has a chance at the number 12 of Jeff Rempel, who's had a very quiet race. Was able to get the lead early on. Brendan Lashinsky just learning out how this iRacing series works. Pushing up the track in turn number 4 a couple of times, but still kept it going. John Ashton is going to the end of the line. We're going to see what Dell has to offer when it comes to winning this race. Rempel, who had a really rough week last week at Lernerville Speedway, could not seem to get out of his own way and would just finish horribly, which is a big reason why we have this points differential of 45 between Tyler Dell and Jeff Rempel. It was just not Jeff Rempel's night last week, even though he had the highest of highs the week before, getting by both Tyler Dell and Bailey Cousins on that last restart. If you haven't had a chance to look at week number 2, the final laps at Eldora, you're missing out because it was great. It was a phenomenal race and a phenomenal finish. And I definitely recommend checking out that race from week number 2. So we're going to see what Tyler Dell is going to do. Is he going to dive to the bottom? Is he going to go to the outside? It seems like if you could hold the top line fairly straight, that you could be faster. We saw that with the number 19, but it looks like the number 8 might try the inside line because he knows Rempel's going to hold that berm. We're going to go green flag for one more whole lap. Might be 2. I can't remember how iRacing does it half the time. Rempel decides to go low. Away from Dell. It looks like Rempel is going to, 1 lap to go, white flag. Rempel is pulling away from the field. Oh, he gets a little bit sideways, but doesn't look like it's going to be enough for the number 8. Sponsored by City Chevrolet. The number 12 of Jeff Rempel is going to be your heat number 2 winner. Liddell in second. And the number 19 of Max Wozni in third. Great finish for the number 1 of Pat Davis finishing 4th. Brendan Lashinsky finishing 5th. Fred Fraser finishing 6th, and Don Ashton finishing last in the 7th position. Here we go. Heat number 3. We have the number 5 of Scott Greer on the pole. On the outside front rows, the number 43 of the rookie Gareth Senkow. Bailey Cousins on the inside second row in the number 7. Thomas Kennedy in the number 17 on the outside second row. Dave Gerling in the number 13. Your 4th place points driver right now, and Derek Robinson in the 818 starting in the 6th position. Scott Greer, who's been, I think, pretty close to every single one of our races. Similar to Guillaume, does really well early on. But runs into a few problems later on in the evening. And Gareth Senkow, lots to say about him. Was a hard charger last week. Had a real rough first round at Lanier Speedway, but is really coming to his own throughout the last couple of weeks of racing. Loving that number 17 paint scheme. That type of blue is one of my favorite colors. Nice to see him carry it from the sprint car into iRacing. Six cars in this one. Pace truck's going to pull off here pretty quick. And Scott Greer's going to lead him to the green in heat number 3. Green flag is out. Senkow into the wall. Hits the number of Kennedy. Kennedy might have legged out for a second. We're going to keep it green. And the number 7 of Bailey Cousins is your leader. Senkow up in the marbles. Here comes the number 13 of David Gerling onto the inside of Scott Greer. Is he going to hold it? Oh, he had to slow right up to stay off of him. but he gets another good run on the inside. They're side by side. 13 has to fall back. Cousins, your leader. Greer in second place. Girling wanting to make a move on the number 5, who slides up the racetrack. 13 sideways. 5, in an effort to stay off the wall, heads up all the way down, but just stays off of the number 13. The 13 gains a position. Greer's into the wall. Is he going to keep it going? Greer keeps it going. Here comes Derek Robinson. Sedkow holding third. Sedkow holding third over Greer. Greer and Sedkow battling it out. Cousins is pulled away from this field. We're halfway done this race. Remember that top 4 transferred to the feature. Greer is up the track again. He seems to come in low, but then flies all the way up to keep it off the wall. He has to slow it right down. Just a couple laps to go for the number 7 of Bailey Cousins, who's got quite the gap. Oh, we got a cautions out. Cautions out. Looks like it might have involved Greer. I don't see Greer in 4th place anymore. We're gonna stack them back up. Well, it looks like this 5 of Greer came down on the 17 of Thomas Kennedy. Thomas Kennedy, who joined us, I think it was week 2. Oh, it looked like, yeah, the 5 of Scott Greer went sideways down the track, and Kennedy had nowhere to go. Nowhere to go for the number 17 of Thomas Kennedy. We're going to restart them with Bailey Cousins, your leader. And number 13 of David Girling is going to start in second. Gareth Sedkow is having an excellent run once again, starting in third. Thanks again to our sponsors, Prairie for Performance and Detail, Carmen Concrete Limited, No Fear Graphics by Alexander Farr, and the Airport Motor Inn for their generous sponsorship of tonight's Cooleddown iRacing Dirt Series. So Bailey Cousins has not been challenged this entire race. Real battle between Greer and Sedkow for a while, and Girling as well. But even Girling was able to pull away from third position. Green flag is out. Cousins with a great restart. And he is just flying out there. Curling pushes a little hard. Looks like he might have gained a little traction, but the number 7 is so strong coming out the corner. Looks like Greer's up against the wall. Two more corners to go. And Bailey Cousins is going to be your winner of heat number 3. David Gerling finishing second, and Gareth Senkow in third. We are going to go to our B main. We're just going to wait for the lineup, and we'll go through that momentarily. All right, we have the number 41 of Austin McClellan on the pole of this B main. On the outside is the number 20 of Brendan Lashinsky. Inside second row, the number 17 of Thomas Kennedy. To the outside of him, the number 15 of Rick Lowy. In the 6th position, the number 5 of Scott Greer. In the 7th position, we have the number 16 of Bryan DORGE. And at the back, we have the number 8, or in the 8th position, in the number 52 of Don Ashton. Austin McClellan was just in a bad spot in his heat race, which has forced him to go into this B main. There's a good chance that McClellan will win this B main just based on his previous finishes and how he finished last week. So has a good chance of winning this one here. But you never know. Bryan DORGE, who's starting in 7th place, another good driver that was running towards the front of the field last week, but he's got some ground to make up in order to make this work and get that best starting position from the B main possible. And Brendan Lashinsky, who is learning very quickly. Sometimes baptism by fire is the best way to go. Interesting to see that there are some drivers who normally run this B main not in this B main. For example, Pat Davis, who's been in pretty much all the B mains up until tonight, has transferred to the main feature already. Jerome Guillot, who's been in the B main on occasion, has gone straight to the feature. Gareth Senkow, who went to the B main for a couple races, is already in the main feature. So Pace Truck's going to pull off. We're going to see who's going to win this B main to finish the rest of our lineup. Austin McClellan with the early lead. Oh, 15 gets into the 20. 20 goes up, hits Greer. But everyone keeps it going. McClellan, your early leader. Number 17 of Kennedy in second. Kennedy challenging for the lead on the very inside, driving it through the grass. Bit of a gap now between second and third. Kennedy's looking really good in this B main. Real separation between the top two and the rest of the field. It's the number 18 of Fred Fraser in the 3rd position. Austin McClellan, your leader. Thomas Kennedy challenging for that lead as best he can. And then a large gap to the number 18 of Fred Fraser. Is it Fraser or Fraser? No, there's no I, so it's Fraser. Names. McClellan seems comfortable with the 17 staying behind him. It's like that old TV show, Frasier. Yeah, that's the one. But that's not what his name is. It's Fraser. Oh, McClellan slides up. And Kennedy's got the inside line, but so much momentum coming out of these corners that the number 17 just can't seem to just get that oomph needed. But maybe McClellan will push up a little bit higher. They're side by side coming out of the corner. No, he can't quite do it. He's gonna get right up to his bumper, go underneath again. He's gaining momentum. The 17 is gaining momentum on the bottom, but he gets sideways, but he keeps it down. By side again with McClellan being able to edge out. This is a 12-lap race, about 3/4 of the way through it. Third, fourth, and fifth are similar positions right now. Looks like number 16 has moved into fourth. But here's Kennedy still trying to get that position on the number 41 of Austin McClellan. But he just made a mistake sliding up, and McClellan pulls a long ways in front. In fact, it looks like there's a little bit of gain for the number 18 and the 16. Don't know if there's enough laps left, though, to be able to catch up on this big 3/4 mile racetrack. Kennedy's got another shot on the bottom. This is a heck of a race between the 17 and 41 of Austin McClellan. 16 challenging for third, but the race is all up front with just a few to go. How much moisture is left at the bottom of the track for Thomas Kennedy? Oh boy, Kennedy gaining as long as he doesn't make a mistake. The 16 of DORGE has moved into third now. Bottom line seems to be working for him. Once again, 41 with the momentum. Greer has left. McClellan still with the lead on the outside. The yellow flag is out. With the yellow flag out and the 16 of DORGE in third, this is going to be a finish. Might have been debris on the track. Tighten back up here. 52 of Don Ashton in fourth place. Greer is done for this race. The number 18 of Fred Fraser was involved. I see the number 16 got sideways a little bit. The 18 drove up into him. The 16 may or may not have been able to straighten out. Not too sure who's going to get the caution on that. Number 18 is at the back of the field. So McClellan, who's been consistently challenged by the number 17, continues to stay out in front. We're going to have a couple laps to go to finish this B main and get ready for our main feature coming right up after this race. Austin McClellan, Thomas Kennedy, Brian DORGE, who started in the 7th position, now in third, can challenge for the win here. think they are going to go single file. Our feature will be 30 laps. Our feature will be 30 laps. All right, it's going to be a single file restart for the number 41 of McClellan, green flag. 2 to go. Well, the 17 at Kennedy slowed up a bit. DORGE stays off of him. Well, that gives the advantage to McClellan, who gets really high this time. Here comes DORGE. Looking for another position. Oh, 41 slides up. 16 gets underneath. But he can't get underneath enough. There's a wall there. The 17 slides up in front of the 41. We got 1 lap to go. And it's the 41 and the 17. Oh, the 41, that outside line is not holding from the way he wanted it to. Through the grass, the number 17 to the inside. 2 corners left to go. Kennedy is getting blocked by the 41. The 41 can't hold it down there, though. Who's it going to be at the line? And McClellan, your B main winner. When the 17 takes him out for good measure with the race being over. Oh, and Brian DORGE, who finishes 3rd, starting 7th. What a finish. Kennedy doing everything he could to have a shot at that, and swapped positions there for a little while. But here we are. We are at the main event. With our, I think, 19 cars. Everyone transferred the feature. I'm not sure if Scott Greer has come back in for this. Just gotta slide my stuff over here. Okay, so we have 19 starting this feature. I need to slide over my grid for the feature. Here we go. All right. Dave Gerling in the number 13 is going to start on the front row inside pole position. The number 8 of Tyler Dell is going to be starting on the outside front row. Sean KLASSEN in the number 33 on the inside second row. Bailey Cousins outside second row in the number 7. Jeff Rempel in the number 12, starting 5th. Jerome Guillot in the 6th position to start 7th. Stephen Bowman in the number 14, Max Wozni in the number 19, starting 8th. Gareth Senkow in the 9th position in the number 43 car. And Alexander Farr's runner-up last week in the number 25 will be starting in the 10th position. In the 11th position is the number 1 of Patrick Davis. In the 12th position, we have the number 818 of Derek Robinson. Austin McClellan in the number 41, starting 13th. Thomas Kennedy, the number 17, in 14th. In 15th, we have the number 16 of Brian DORGE. Don Ashton in the 52. Brendan Lashinsky in the 20. Fred Fraser starting in 18th. And Rick Lowe in the number 15, starting 19th. And Scott Greer, who is disconnected, is a scratch for the start of this feature race. It'll be Dave Gerling and Tyler Dell. You can see the front runners are near the front in this one, but whose race could it be? We've seen some real exciting action throughout this first season on Cooleddown iRacing Dirt Series. Thanks again to our amazing sponsors tonight, including Prairie Performance and Detail, Carmen Concrete Limited, No Fear Graphics by Alexander Farr, and the Airport Motor Inn. Pace truck is going to pull in. They're going to start it. Green flag for the number 13 of David Gerling. Gerling to lead going into turn number 1. Looks like the 17 of Kennedy stuck to the outside wall. We got a caution is out. We have a few people who disconnected due to connection issues, so we're going to restart them to give the guys a chance to get back into their race cars. Thanks for your patience. Make sure to check out Cooleddown Racing Video Productions on Facebook, as well as heading over to YouTube and going to youtube.com/cooldown12 and subscribing to our channel. Thanks to those that have subscribed today or tonight. And we hope to see you around. Every time we have something to offer on our YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook and get all the latest updates. Thanks once again for joining us. Really appreciate you watching tonight. If you're being safe out there, or if you're at home, and great to see some of the tracks out there being able to operate right now. We are most certainly jealous up in this area, waiting patiently for the opportunity for us to open. We're going to do one more caution lap here to get everyone lined up. Race was looking really good to start. This is a really fun track to run on. I've run on it a few times. Really long straightaways, nice long corners. David Gerling, who won a B-main a couple weeks ago, has really come into his own as well. We've had lots of drivers improve significantly over the last couple of weeks. The amount of laps that they've turned has been in the hundreds, I am sure, so that we can provide you some of the best entertainment iRacing has to offer. If you're ever looking for old videos, Cooleddown Racing Video Productions YouTube channel has stuff as far back as 1986 from the Emo Speedway. We also have footage from Red River Co-op Speedway, other footage from ALH Motor Speedway, Greenbush Race Park, North Central Speedway, Grand Rapids Speedway, as well as Mosquito Speedway for a few years there, 2014, 15, 16, Lake of the Woods Speedway, and a few other racetracks here and there. Pace truck is going to pull off this time. David Gerling's going to lead him once again. Green flag. Looks like a traffic jam going into turn number 1. They all make it through the first 2 corners. Gerling with the early lead. Claussen slides up, but stays off the number 8 of Dell. Oh, sideways goes, looks like the 818. We got a wreck at the back. We're going to slow him back up again. Oh, it looks like Patrick Davis involved in that one. Not sure if he got clipped. We're going to find out. It looks like Alexander Farr is going to be the cause of that caution. Getting into the number 1 of Patrick Davis. Just taking him a little bit. What Patrick Davis might have too much damage. Oh, he got T-boned by the number 19 of Max Wozni. Hopefully his car is mostly okay. Drivers do get 1 reset. 1 reset, so Patrick Davis might opt to have to restart at the back of the field with Alexander Farr due to the reset that he's going to need. Yep, Patrick Davis is using his reset. Just beats the pace truck out. And is he going to have to get a wave around? Yep. He's going to go to the back. You may notice something different on the front row, that the number 8 is now starting on the pole position over David Gerling. Gerling, who's improved significantly over the last couple weeks. Pace truck is pulled off. We're going to go green flag for number 8 of Tyler Dell. We got the traffic jam into turn number 1, but they keep it green. Side by side for the lead. Here comes Cousins. Oh, 16 and the 43 get involved. And the 43 is around. Look to be almost 4 wide in that spot. We're going to restart him again. So Senkow in the 16, I think it was. Got together. Thanks again to our sponsors, Prairie Performance and Detail, Carbon Concrete Limited, No Fear Graphics by Alexander Farr, and the Airport Motor Inn for their generous sponsorship of our drivers tonight. We're hoping this summer we'll be able to give you some great Cooleddown Racing Video Productions footage once we are able to get things going again in real life. In the meantime, thanks so much for joining us tonight once again for the final round of season number 1 of the Cooleddown iRacing Dirt Series. Always great to have you aboard. It's always great to be a part of this program. And we hope that you'll join us for the next one. Stay tuned to our Facebook page for upcoming information of events. We're going to line them up 2 by 2 once again. Give this another shot. Senkow at the back of this field now. Pace truck busy merging itself into a car. We're good now, lined up. A little bit of contact near the back. We've done 3 laps of this 30-lap race. And then the pace truck pulls off. Tyler Dell is your pole position leader. As they some contact with the 13, the 7, and the 8. Someone drives into the grass. He's sliding up the track. They're going to get together. 33 gets into the side or the back of the 13. They're piling up again. Cousins and Dell near the front. Another caution. There's a good bet we're going single file this time around, because we need to get this race going. Dave Gerling, who started on the front pole position, involved in that incident. It looked like someone cut through the grass at some point and slid up the track. I don't know if that was part of the deal of what happened. It did not end well for the number 13 of Dave Gerling. Looks like the 33 got into the back of the 13. From there was just a pile. Kennedy involved, DORGE a little involved, but Farr got into it much later on as well. SHAWN KLASSEN is going to go to the back, who's been dominant at this track over the last couple days, but is going to have to make his way through the field. So, this is a familiar position for the number 7 and the number 8 of Bailey Cousins and Tyler Dell. Cousins, who missed last week, is back again tonight, and there they are, top 2, naturally up there. It's where they seem to gravitate themselves and end up sometimes with devastating results, as we saw in week number 2, where Jeff Rempel was able to take advantage of these 2 young guns. And wouldn't you know it, look who's in 4th place. It is none other but the number 48 of Jerome Guillot, who is actually near the front, but then again, it's only 4 laps, so don't hold your breath. Pace truck pulls in. We're a double file restart. Bailey Cousins and Tyler Dell. Boy. They make it clean through the first 2 corners. Dell with the early lead. Oh, the 15 and the 18 get involved near the back. Cars all over a place again. Five laps down. Thanks again, fans, for bearing with us as we get this sorted out. Another caution. With the number 15 and 18 involved in this one. Looks like the 15, I'm not sure what happened other than turning down. It doesn't look like anyone hit him. So Rick Loowey is going to the back of this field of either a missteer or something. Just looked really weird what happened. And we're going to restart this once again. Okay, we're going to go single file from now on to hopefully give these drivers a chance to get some laps in and keep you entertained. This is a great racetrack. We have a really good run. As you can see, the 8, the 7, and the 12 in the top 3 here. And Guillaume's your wild card right now. Max Wozni in the 5th position, a wild card as well. Austin McClellan, who started further back, is now in the 8th position. I think he started 13th or 14th after, here we go. Trucks pulled off, green flag, single file restart. Number 8 of Tyler Dell. Oh, the 7 not knowing that the 12's down there. He's going to slide up the track. 12 takes advantage of that. Oh no, the 7 slides up, gets into the 48, and we're going to have another caution. This caution is going to be on Bailey Cousins. Based on what I could see there, we're going to get official word in a minute. Bailey Cousins straight to the back on that one. Tough deal for Cousins early on. Cousins is going to have to use that reset. Jerome Guillaume hopes there's not too much damage on that street stock. Guillaume really wants to get a win or a top 5, anything to feel good about this. Bowman's going to pull in and use his reset. Might be minimal damage, but could be worthwhile. We will restart single file once again. You know, all the battles were at the back and some of the wrecks at the back the previous few. And this time, early on in this race, Bailey Cousins, who really misinterpreted the corner and slid up that track and then got into the back of another driver. Just doing some paperwork right now for black flags and cars in for their reset. And a lot of these cars have used their reset, so hopefully if they were involved in another incident, it hasn't been too bad. Still got the majority of cars in this race running. The blistering pace laps of this truck. They're gonna have to fuel the tank up again. I mean, I don't think they get great mileage on that pace truck to start with. A lot of times it's been doing circuits out here. Hopefully it's got a double tank. All right, single file restart. We're going to go green this time. Tyler Dell. The number 12 of Jeff Rempel, right on his back bumper. Gives him a little nudge to let him know he's there. Rempel's got a really good run on the bottom. Side by side for the lead. Max Wozni challenging for third. Rempel and Dell side by side for this lap. Guillaume finally by himself. 16 of Brian DORGE moves into fourth. Side by side for the lead. Can these guys race side by side for the next 22 laps? Yellow flag is out. You might be asking yourself, I don't understand. This is a virtual world. Why do we have cautions all the time? Isn't it just a video game? Well, to continue to add fire, I fuel to the fire that continues to burn of the iRacing video game dilemma. It's a simulator, so we try to do the best we can to simulate the real-world conditions. Unfortunately, for some of these drivers, it's a little tougher on iRacing than it might be in real life. So we got a lot of rookies in here. We're learning lots. We have some really good veteran drivers as well, as we see in the front. We put these cautions out so that we can basically train a system that works for our drivers. We are almost done 1/3 of this race. And we're just over half the amount of elapsed time for this future race. We usually have to, iRacing is set up so that we run a certain amount of laps or a certain amount of minutes. So at the most, this race is 40 minutes long, and we have completed 24 minutes of this race, or 9 laps. Thomas Kennedy is going to go to the back for this one. We're going to restart at single file once again. And while this race is early, the track is not showing a state of moisture anymore. As we can see, the corners have really started to slick up, and this is going to change a lot of how these drivers go through the corner. It doesn't make it easier, that's for sure. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Prairie Performance and Detail, Carmen Concrete Limited, No Fear Graphics by Alexander Farr, and the Airport Motor Inn for their generous sponsorship for tonight's races. Tyler Dell in a very familiar spot at the front of this race. He has been dominant for the majority of this season. Very consistent, with the exception of that restart in race number 2 that involved him and Bailey Cousins. Pace trucks pulled off. Here we go. Restart. The 12 Rempel gets a run on the inside. And he's going to pull out into the lead here, almost 3 wide for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Still side by side, though, for the lead. Rempel looks like he's gaining a bit more of an advantage here. And Guillot is trying to get up there as well. Still side by side. Looks like a good high line and a good low line right now. With the top 2 cars, McClellan moves into 4th spot. DORGE a little high coming out of the corner. Rempel's looking really good on the inside. He took advantage of a slow restart from Dell. Dell is out, must be towards the back. Good couple laps. Find out who goes to the back of this one. Can only imagine the chatter in the driver's channel right now. I think I need to get myself a beverage. Dave Grilling gets the wave around, who was involved in that incident. Third of the way down this race. Now Jeff Rempel is going to start this race again on the pole. And this is a great deal for him because Dell had been so slow on the restarts. Is Dell going to try possibly do the same thing and try to get underneath him early. Seemed to be a big mistake for Dell on that one because he was just able to cut through the grass and take that top spot from him. The inside line seems to be working. So the big question here is going to be how Dell will respond, having to restart in the second position instead of the first position. Guillaume's still up. And look at McClellan. Look at that 41 car. It may not look the fanciest. It might have the darkest blue I've ever seen on a race car. But that car is in 4th place. 4th place for the 41. Bishop pulls off. And here's the restart. Here comes Rempel. And Dell. Dell cannot make it work. 3 wide for 3rd. Oh, here comes DORGE on the inside. Almost 3 wide for 3rd. Jeff Rempel in his favorite spot has found a preferred line. It is getting rough on that inside corner too. Car's bouncing around in there. Top 2. Comes McClellan for 3rd. McClellan on the inside of Guillaume for 3rd. They're going to be battling side by side for the next little while. No one's going to have to cut the lawn coming into turn 1 tomorrow. These cars have taken the grass right out. Might have to deal with some lap traffic in a few laps for the number 12 of Rempel. It's the number 20 of Lashinsky is going to get lapped here pretty soon. McClellan is now taken 3rd. He's got his eyes on the leaders. Halfway done this race. Yo's going to keep it up high, and he's going to stay in 4th for now. Here comes KLASSEN, who had to, and Bailey Cousins are moving back up through. '12 and the 8, 1st and 2nd. McClellan in the 41 and 3rd. Little bit of incident, looks like with Thomas Kennedy, cautions out. Really good run there. Really good run of laps. And Rempel, your leader. Looks like the 17 got sideways and the 14 had nowhere to go. 14 tried to avoid him. And the 1 got into the back of the 14. So Thomas Kennedy to the back. I think that might be his 2nd time. That was a really good run there. McClellan able to gain into the 3rd position. Thanks again to our sponsors, Prairie Performance and Detail, Carmen Concrete Limited, No Fear Graphics by Alexander Farr, and the Airport Motor Inn for their support of our drivers. Oh look, someone brought me a drink. Looks like, is this one mine to drink? Okay, thank you. Almost need a snack too. Sweet, sweet bubbly. Not a sponsor. All right, so we have less than 7 minutes left of this race, or hopefully 13 laps. Who likes to finish on time? I mean, people like to finish on time. I mean, people don't want to finish the race because of time. Your leader, the Prairie Performance and Detail sponsored number 12 of Jeff Rempel. With Tyler Dell in the City Chevrolet Days of Thunder car in second, and Austin McClellan in the Super Dark Blue 41 in third. Well, we're over half the race, and guess who's in fourth? Jerome Guillot. The drivers were telling me earlier, I just like saying Jerome Guillot all the time. I don't know what they're talking about. Pace truck's pulled off. Another restart. Jeff Rempel is going to lead him off. Dell tries to cover the inside. Blocked by the number 12. 8 goes into the weeds. Oh, he slides up. McClellan makes a move. Oh my! McClellan challenging for the lead on the backstretch. Dell cut too low too soon and opened the door for McClellan. We got a battle for the lead. Oh, Dell into the crest on the front stretch. McClellan, hands have to be shaking right now, taking advantage of that move. I don't know what to say. What a great, great move by McClellan on the mistake of Dell. Dell's in third now. Oh, McClellan opens the door back to Dell. Can Dell stay off of him? Oh, the 33 gets into the side of... I don't know who that is back there. McClellan in second position, taking advantage of Dell's mistake. Senkow's hit the wall. Oh, but Rempel's got too much momentum. McClellan can almost could taste victory here if he can find a line. It is getting slick. Rempel dives to the bottom to try to shake off McClellan, but McClellan is not getting shaken. Do those words make sense together? I don't know. But wow, what a turn of events. Oh, Bailey Cousins slides high. Senkow has to hit the brakes. That is for about the 9th or 10th position. Oh, here comes Dell again. McClellan doing everything to try to catch up to Rempel, has allowed the 8 to get back on his bumper. This is so close right now for second and third. Rempel, barring something from Rempel or another caution, which we're praying we don't have. Side by side for second again. Oh, they touch. Oh, into the wall goes McClellan, but he keeps it straight. This is the battle that Rempel wants him to have. Oh, the 8 slides up into 41. Contact again. We got contact. The 7 gets into the back of, I think that's Wozni back there. I can't tell. Cousins, God, trying so hard to catch up. Just going to go to the back of this field again. We have 2.5 minutes. And this race will go to, I don't know if they go to a green-white checkered when we hit 40 minutes. Maybe that's all we're going to need. I think it looks like Dell's going to regain that second position, which is good for Dell because that would mean he could try another move on Rempel. But the last time Dell tried to make a move on Rempel, McClellan took advantage of that and almost had a shot for the lead on that. Kennedy gets the wave around. Gerling's going to get a wave around. This is going to be a good finish. Girling has a smoking engine. I don't know if that engine's going to make it to the end of this race for Girling. They've taken all the fenders off, the hood off, everything else. So Dell was lucky enough to recover. McClellan was kind of doing what he could to keep up with Rempel. Try to make that move, but pushed a little too hard, and Dell made it back into second place. We're going to do one more caution lap because we're waiting on a couple waiver rounds. And Jeff Rempel, who won race number 2, has a shot at winning another one. But it might be Dell, maybe McClellan. One of these cars will be celebrating in victory lane. Brian Dorge in 4th position. Guillaume still there in 5th, top 5. He's on track for one of his best finishes this season. Pace truck pulls off. Here we go. Green flag for Jeff Rempel. Here comes Dell to the inside. Rempel's going to block. Gives him a little space, though. Oh, man, are they running low? Oh, boy. Oh, Dell gets it sideways. George is going to try to take advantage of this. Oh, man, someone's sideways. Yellow flags back out. So we're past our 40-minute mark. I believe this means we are going to go to a green-white checker. Possible green-white checkered here. We're out of time. Don Ashton's going to the back. Thanks once again for joining us and being patient. Like us on our Facebook page, Cooleddown Productions, or check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/cooleddown12, or search Cooleddown Racing Video Productions under the search. Please subscribe, click that bell. Your support helps us provide the best video racing entertainment to your mobile device, to your desktop computer, your laptop, or your smart TV. Remember, we have footage from the last 30 some odd years available on youtube.com/cooleddown12, including snowmobile racing, stock car racing, and iRacing. So we're going to line them up single file once again. Jeff Rempel, your leader. Tyler Dell back in 2nd spot. We still have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, over half the field in this race. We have lost a few. I don't know how that engine's still running on David Girling's car, but it's still turning and smoking. Does a good job keeping the mosquitoes away. Here we go. Green flag. Oh, Dell slides up, but he's going to hold it. Keogh on the outside, thinking there might be some moisture there. I think this track might be dried up. try to get these last few laps complete. 5 to go. What are we doing? No, it's final lap, sorry. You don't get to see all the cool stuff here. Jeff Rempel, your leader. And for the final corner, the number 12 of Jeff Rempel is going to be your feature winner at USA International Speedway. Second to Tyler Dell, and third to Austin McClellan. Austin McClellan, third place. Tyler Dell in second. And Jeff Rempel, your winner in our green-white checkered. If you have just joined us or you're still sticking around, momentarily we're going to talk to our winners. And Shawn KLASSEN sends it. Whoa, there goes the 43. Jeff Rempel is going to speak with us, as well as the number 8 of Tyler Dell, who's your points champion. And Austin McClellan in third. Thanks again to our sponsors, Prairie Performance and Detail, Carmen Concrete Limited, No Fear Graphics by Alexander Farr, and the Airport Motorin for their generous support of our iRacing drivers. And thanks so much to you, the fan, for being a part of this iRacing series with Cooleddown Racing Video Productions. Well, Austin McClellan finished third, had a shot at second, had a shot at the lead. Somehow ends up back in third place. What was your race like?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Definitely had my shot there, and I just ran out of talent, I guess. Didn't have enough for them guys, but I'll take third any day.
When Dell made that move through the grass on that the previous, I think third previous restart there, and he ended up sliding up, where you're just like, here's my opportunity, got to make that move, because you were side by side for the lead coming out of turn number 2.
I seen it there and I tried, but just didn't have enough for him again.
Who would you like to thank?
All you guys at Cooleddown here. It's been a blast doing this season, and then all my sponsors on my normal car, TJ's Contracting, Bob the Builder, Mason Lighting, and everybody. It's been a blast. Thank you.
Second place, Tyler Dell. Second place, runner-up. Hey, you shouldn't be in second place. You're a winner. You've won 2 out of these 4 races. Always consistently up front. But you know what was different in this race compared to the last one?
Yeah, I guess I haven't practiced this week as much, and yeah.
Not much to say, but hey, you know what? You're the points champion of our first ever season with Cooleddown iRacing Dirt Series. I mean, that must feel pretty good.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah. Who would you like to thank?
My sponsors, Stills, Carmen Concrete, and Plett Brothers Construction.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Tyler Dell, for joining us for this season. We hope to see you into next season. Here is the big winner of tonight's race, winning the second race for him tonight. Jeff, big change from last week. What did you do to make it happen?
I don't know what happened last week. So, I don't know, a couple practice races this week, and I like this track. I like it when it's good and slick, and flat. So, it's good. It's fun.
Do you feel that this was a championship you lost on your own because of what happened last week?
No, I don't know. I don't really think about it.
Right. Walk us through kind of in terms of that one restart where, Dell had kind of slowed up on that restart. You made that move to the bottom and cut through the grass like other drivers had. Were you kind of hoping that that's what was going to be the thing that would stick?
Yeah, that's usually the line I've been running mostly. Just down there, if you can hit it right, you can slide in there pretty good. So and if you can hold the bottom, you can get off good. So tried it, and it worked pretty good.
Well, congratulations on this win. And who would you like to thank?
You guys, Chris, Anthony, Sean, for putting this all together. It's been fun, and hopefully we can do it again with these guys. It's a good group, and a lot of chatter on the radio during the race. It does get heated at times, but I think in the end we're all still buddies, and this is all for fun. So, yeah, just get ready for next season, I guess.
All right, congratulations, Jeff, and thank you all your fans for joining us tonight while we finished the first season of our Cooleddown iRacing Dirt Series. We are going to start a season 2, and be aware on our Facebook page. Keep us in mind for hopefully next week. If something changes, we'll let you know as we go into season number 2. And you're going to see a lot of these faces once again as we wrap things up for season 1 tonight and move into season 2 in the very near future. So please stay tuned to that. And thanks so much once again to our sponsors, Prairie Performance and Detail, Carmen Concrete Limited, No Fear Graphics by Alexander Farr, Airport Motor Inn, as well for their generous support of our drivers. And thank you so much for your patience tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Be sure to check us out at youtube.com/cooldown12. Become a fan of our Facebook page, Cooldown Productions. And we hope to see you in the near future. So stay safe out there, everybody, and we will talk to you next time.
Thank you.